Nope.
So this is the glass we're going to be replacing, and as you can see it's internally beaded, which means you take the glass out from the inside. I'm just looking at the beads now to see whether they're scribed or they're mitered. You can do this by looking in the corner of the beads where they meet, and as you can see here it's just mitered, which means you can take any of the 4 beads out first, but go for the longest one. That'll give you more leverage to begin with. And I'm just spraying now with some soapy spray. Leave it for a few minutes and let it soak in. Now this is the best tool for getting the glass out. This is a Don Carlos or a moon knife. You can buy this from Uracell. It's bob on. You can go for just a flat scraper as long as it's sharp and you can get into the bead line without damaging the frame itself. That's what you want to be aiming for. Now this here is your bodger. I call it a bodger. It's a glazing shovel or a glazing wedge, whichever you want to call it. And this here is your mallet that you'll be knocking the beads in with. I go for something a bit bigger, bit of a bigger head on it. This is from Wicks, and it's just more forgiving on the beads as well. Now tape and gloves if you need them. I don't need them. I'm alright as I am. Look, now get your mallet and your Don Carlos or your moon knife and just tap it into the bead line. As you can see here, we're on the bead line there. You want to put it in the middle of the bead line, the middle of the glass sort of thing, so you get as much leverage as you can on that first bead, because this is going to be probably the most awkward one, and this is the motion you want to be making as you're trying to pop the bead out of the frame. And whilst you're doing that, just get your mallet and just tap on the handle, and that'll release the bead easier. Work your way, you don't have to go swinging away at it, you just give it a little gentle tap, and there you go. Now if you notice, I've cocked up a bit here really. I've left the bottom bead in last. Ideally you want to be leaving the top bead or the side beads in, or one of the side beads, just so you can hold the glass a bit better while you're taking that last bead out. Obviously I knew it weren't going anywhere. Look, you give it a push and it's still not going. Give it a little flick there with bodger, and here we go. Job's a good one. Satisfied face there, look at that, beautiful, beautiful man. So this is the other bead I was talking about earlier on. If this is the bead that you come across, this is the scribed bead, and as you can see here, the side bead actually overlaps the bottom bead. So what you want to do is, if this is the case, you want to take the sides out first. It actually makes it easier, to be fair. When you'll see now when I put a scraper in here, you can just start it in the corner. You don't have to start it in the middle, and they're even easier to do. You don't even have to use a mallet really. You can just get that Don Carlos in there. When I pull it out, you can see the bottom bead flies past. So yeah, it's just a case of when you're putting the glass back in, top and bottom bead in first, and then just bang your sides in. Bobby Dazzler. Now back on this window now, you want to have a quick nosy at the frame before you put the glass in. Make sure there's no fixing bolts sticking out or anything on the gasket. Check your bridging packers are in there. Can you see? They're the ones that clip onto the frame. And check your drain holes as well. You see them little drain holes here? Just check they're clear. Just give it a bit of a stick packer in and see, make sure they're clear. And any additional packers need to be on an angle like that, just so it spreads the weight of the glass. And then obviously we need to measure this glass before we fit it. Obviously, if you want to change it, you need to measure it. So that's what we'll do next. I think you're going to know how to measure a piece of glass like once it's on floor like this. But if you want to stick around, I've got a bit of a magic trick to end the video with. If you're a bit lazy like me, you don't want to take the glass out to measure it. You want to measure it while the glass is in. And just stick around and I'll show you a bit of magic. Oh yes. Don't forget to measure your thickness, 28mm. There's our packers sticking out a little bit there. That's what you want. And then ready for the sound as you put the glass in. Satisfying. Here's a closer look at the glazing bead while it's on floor. As you can see, when I pick it up, that's the face of it. And there on the underside edge, that's your leg. That's what we call a single leg bead. On that leg there, wait, I'm going to tap it in a minute. There it is. That's it, that's your leg. Same as going back in. Don't be clouting it, you know what I mean? Just work it in with your fingers like that. And then just gently tap it. There you go, tap one end, work the other end in, tap that in, and then just work your way back into the middle from each end until it clicks. Not that hard, you bloody beggar. Once you're up to the third and fourth bead, just work it in like I say. Bend the bead in the middle to get that bottom corner in like that, and then just massage it in. Look at that. Just keep going, and it'll just close them miters up like that, and it just makes life easier for when you're tapping it in with mallet. The more you do with your fingers, the less you do with your mallet. It's as simple as that. So you've got a broken piece of glass and you don't want to take it out to measure it. This is one way of doing it. Get the glazing expert, I think it's called. What's it called? Glass, is it? I don't know. You can tell I've never opened it. I've only opened it for this video. Glass expert, that's what it is. Glass expert. Let's have a look at it. So we just hook it onto the top of the frame. So the purple part is hitting the outside of the glass, and then we want to push that ruler until it hits the inside. And this, with a bit of luck, should give us the thickness of the glass.
It works.
Now when I'm measuring the width and the height of a piece of glass, I just put my tape, or the hook of the tape, on the bead line, and just go across with your tape, get that measurement, to the beeline, it's just under 700, and deduct 10mm. Same with the height, just deduct 10mm off that overall measurement, beeline to beeline. Now, this is it. This is the magician's trick here. Look at this. Get yourself a pen and a paper. Put your pen up, put your paper up to the glass, right, and then get the pen, and when you can see the reflection of the pen up against the gasket on the outside, just brush your pen up to the glass, and then when you get your tape, bloody hard to explain this really, but if you get your tape, then look at it, it's 28mm. I mean, what?